I want to help you. You come to this lecture because you want to consolidate your knowledge of the last 2 weeks. So here we have some key terms from week 6. Here are the key terms. SMS, that is, with S, we need to figure out the why. Why is the company making money? What is the company doing to be successful? We need to be able to measure the success, but the big thing I emphasize is not just create measures because we need to measure something. No, you need to think about how do we map the story into a strategy map. Because once we get the strategy map, now we have the framework for measurement. Measurement, okay? We have the framework for measurement, okay? And I love, so even though SMS measure comes second, but measurement needs this framework of the strategy map, and that is why it's so important in your project that you know how to put a strategy map together. That is 10 times more important than the measures you choose. Businesses are going to try one measure 1 year, they'll try another measure the next year, but this whole strategy map is key to the success. Okay, so that was the big thing in week 6, and that's what launched you into your project. Am I right? So by now, most of you have already met your business and have an interview. All right, put your hand up if you have done that. Yes, well, if you haven't, see all the hands that have gone up, that's your competition. Competition is good. Competition is good for productivity. Now, last week we looked at week 7. Quality matters, but financial gets, what do we say here? Quality matters. You know that quality matters, but it's the financial that gets the attention. Are you with me here? All right, the quality is at the process level of the balanced scorecard. Remember, we've got learning, growth, process, customer, financial, right? But we have to translate quality problems into some financial report. Why? Because you need to get the attention of top managers who give you the money to improve the processes in the organisation. So that's why we taught you last week how to do a cost of quality report. Are you with me here? Okay? Remember, just to remind you, I'm different from Park Mason. Park Mason's our best teacher in our school. Okay? I'm learning from her. I spend a little bit more time on getting you to understand why are you learning, not just what are you learning, okay? So the why. Why do you need to know a quality report? What's going to be on the exam? No, that is not the why, okay? The why is you can use the cost of quality report to get the attention of senior management. Okay, so quality matters, but financial gets attention, all right? So that's a summary of week 6 and week 7, okay? And the other big special thing out of week 7 was once we start mapping quality from prevention, okay, to inspection, to internal failure and external failure groups, then we can start to see a causal linkage in cost incurrence. So it was better, much better, to spend money right up near the front to save 10 times or 100 times of that money at the end. Because once a failure occurs in the hands of a customer, then you can have lawsuit, you can have bad word of mouth, you can actually go bankrupt. Okay, so that was the big idea last week. Quality matters, but financial gets attention, and there's this cause-effect linkage between different types of quality interventions. Wow. Okay, so, all right, what about this week? You didn't come to learn about last. Just a reminder, what is that? What do we call that? What do we call this? A customer preference map. So do a simple map like this for the company that you're visiting for your project. That will help you to visually communicate what is your company's strategy. Okay, is it product differentiation or is it low cost? Wow. getting excited. There's your strategy map, and there's the measures to go with the strategy map, okay? So they're the big 3 diagrams you need to take away from week 6, but need to think about in guiding your big project. Now, we need to change channel for this week and next week. Okay? For the last 2 weeks, we focused on strategy. Why? Why do customers come to you? Why do they come back? Why do they say good things about your restaurant? Or bad things? Okay? That was the last 2 weeks. It was just, how do we make more money? Right? How do we grow our business? How do we set the right strategy? It was more like top line. You're really focusing on top line. Okay? Because customer is all about top line, right? Am I right? When a customer buys something, where does that go? In the top line, in sales. Am I right? But today and next week, we're not going to talk about the top line. No, we're going down to the cost level in the profit and loss. We're going down to talk about cost matters. Cost matters in the organisation, and why it matters, and what all organisations need to do to think about this. Now let me remind you, in week 6, I said management accounting can assist in facilitating decision making. That is, helping you to make more accurate or more timely decisions. Okay? Okay? More accurate or more timely decisions. That's facilitating. Okay? Remember the shower example and the system syncing? Which business was likely to succeed? The one that did reports every day, or the one that did reports every month? It was the one that did it every day, because they're getting information that is more timely and it's likely to be more accurate. Okay? So never ever forget that the facilitating decision making is all about on time, all right? Getting timely information and getting accurate information. All right? Of course, this can also help in learning, so you make less mistakes in the future. Wow. So what's this influencing mean? Well, management accounting can assist in influencing people in behaving and making decisions. Once you start measuring things and people see the measures, then they start to take notice. Once you know that your attendance is going to be measured, you take notice. That's what we mean by influencing. We influence people by measuring things. We influence people. So you're either trying to make better decisions or you're trying to influence people. That's all you're trying to do with management accounting information. The other people say, but we still need inventory information because we need to do FIFO, LIFO reporting under IFRS. Are you with me here? Yeah, but that's not, I don't care about that. That doesn't add value. That doesn't make me more profitable. I don't care about that. That doesn't prevent me from becoming bankrupt. Okay? All right? But these two, this is what I'm interested in. All right? I want to make better decisions, and I want to make sure people that work for me are behaving in the right direction of the strategy. Okay? So strategy map helps in influencing people. All right? So that's the big picture, and now we're going to we've got to change channel now. We're changing channel. We wanted to talk about cost matters. I never really talked about cost matters before. I want you to start to think about this. If cost matters, then you should measure it. And a lot of factories I go to do not measure cost of water, the cost of electricity, the cost of power. They don't measure that. They pay their bills, but they don't have a sense of how those costs attach to products. Last semester, did you study a management accounting unit, did you? And what was that called? Introduction. And in that introduction, were you taught anything about cost? Ah, yes. Do you still remember? Some of you do. Good. All right. And you may have been taught something about cost, volume, profit analysis. Is that right? Hello? Yeah. And activity-based costing. Am I right? And relevant costs. Am I right? Okay. Good. All right. So I'm not going to cover that too much now, but cost matters. You should measure it. You need to learn how to apply it for decision making. So you were taught job costing, you were taught activity-based costing. But here, I want to make it 10 times even more critical that you understand costs. Because when you go out, and someone may have said to you in the past, oh, if you want to be a good business student, you should read the Financial Times. You should read the Wall Street Journal. You should read the business section of major newspapers. Am I right? And when you do read that, what do you learn about? I can tell you, you learn very little about how companies are managing their costs. Because they don't talk about it. And you're probably thinking, it's something you can't get excited about because it's not on Bloomberg every day. What you do hear about in the newspapers, on Bloomberg and business journals, is all about revenue, top line growth, market share, the future of the consumer in India, the One Belt, One Road, wow! The China consumer. It's all about top line. Do you understand that? All right? It's kind of like, and so the problem that it has for students is it convinces you to some degree that, that's all that matters. And this cost thing, accountant in the back office, they can deal with that. That's an afterthought. That's something that happens after. No. Cost is 10 times more critical. And that's what we're going to cover today and next week. It is very critical that you understand. For factory success, factories need to learn their costs. In China, that I know, and other developing countries around the world, factories have made billions over the years, over these 3 decades, by just pumping out volume. Because if you can double your volume, then you can halve the cost of your overhead. You can halve the cost of your tooling. Are you with me here? That's been the strategy. But that strategy is no longer working. Now, I don't know anything about India or Bangladesh and other major developing country factories sites, but I know in China that Chinese factories are struggling now because they cannot double the volume from last year to this year. Or when they get an order for a product, that last year the order was for 20,000 units, nice big volume. This year, 10,000 units, but I want 5 different colours. Now the factory has to do 5 different runs. It's going to cost more. And the effective volume is only 1/10 of the year before. Guess what? Costs go up, am I right? When volume goes, CVP, right? Hello? That's what's happening in the world today. Buyers are not ordering big volumes of one colour. No, they want every little colour. Look at all these seats. They're all different colours. Okay? Why didn't Monash make all these seats the same colour? Why didn't they just make them all red? It would have been cheaper. No, because you, the customers, will find it more exciting to come into a nice, colourful lecture theatre. Are you with me here? All right. So when Monash goes to the factory, we don't want 200 seats red colour. No, we want red, we want grey, we want green, we want blue. Are you with me here? So originally now the factory has to do a production run for each. Now the costs go up. Are you with me here? That's the big trend today. That's the big challenge that factories are having. And they're closing down. So, administration costs, inventory process improvement, these are strategies that factories can use in the short term to get started in cost management. Okay, admin, that's just cutting costs, replacing admin people with software, point of sale software, or, customer management software, like Salesforce.com. You with me here, right? Week 9, next week, we're going to talk a little bit more about inventory costs. This week, we're going to talk about process improvement. So you can see what we're going to cover today, that's in the chapter, then is very important to factory success. It's very important to service company success. It's very important to restaurant success. Okay? And maybe because none of you have visited a factory for your assignment and you visit a restaurant, you may want to ask the question, if you're a restaurant, how many different dishes do you have? Because I'll tell you now that the restaurants that struggle are the ones that have 120 different dishes. The restaurants that make money, they have for lunch. We have 5 set menus for lunch. Which one would you like? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They're the restaurants that make money. Same idea. A factory, higher volume, less colours. You with me here? Same idea. Don't just think, O'Connor loves factories and you're never ever going to work in a factory, so what's the relevance of what I'm talking about? Okay? Same idea. Okay? A restaurant is a factory. What do they make? They make meals. Okay? Are they producing those meals in high volume? Does the restaurant you're talking to know its costs? Most of them do not. Most of them don't know. Do they know whether they make more money at lunchtime or dinner time? Most of them don't know. Okay. Does cost manager? Why don't we hear about costs? How many of you know Apple? Put your hand up if you know Apple. Some of you, okay, all right. All right, good. All right, I just want to get some response from you. It's a bit lonely out the front here. All right, okay. So, how many of you know Foxconn? Foxconn is the major EMS, electronic manufacturing service provider for Apple. In other words, Foxconn make the iPhone, and Apple just put their brand on it. You with me here? Huh? All right. Now, about 7-8 years ago, Apple went to Pegatron, which is another. They used to be. That was a spin-off from Asus from Taiwan. Foxconn was a spin-off from Acer in Taiwan. So Pegatron, they went to Pegatron to say, Pegatron, we want you to make the iPad 2. Remember, you know the iPad Mini? Okay, and so got Pegatron to make it. And Apple said, Pegatron, how much is it going to cost you to make the iPad 2? And their quotation to Apple was higher than Foxconn. So here's my big question to you. Class, are you ready for this question, or are you looking at your smartphone? Can I have your attention right now? Because there's a question coming up. You ready? All right. Apple could have went to Foxconn to make the mini iPad for less than going to Pegatron. But they went to Pegatron to specifically get Pegatron to make the mini iPad. Why did they do that? Why did Apple do that? Pegatron, the cost that Pegatron quoted to Apple was higher than Foxconn. So why would Apple deliberately go to another supplier that was more expensive than Foxconn? Come on, why? This is real. Yes?
Make competition.
Pardon?
Make competition.
Exactly, competition. And competition in the long run will work much more powerful for Apple than if Apple did everything under Foxconn, because then Foxconn can become more powerful if Apple does not have an alternative to go to. So what is this? This is cost management. This is long-run cost management strategy. It is. Yes. But you don't hear about that in the business papers. You don't hear about this. Companies are working, thinking about their cost strategy every day. They have to. Generally, in the electronics industry, companies like Apple are looking to cut costs by 5% every quarter. Wow, that's 20% a year. Okay, so you have, as a supplier, you need to know how to improve your processes to keep up, and that's what we're covering today. Okay, so let's keep moving. All right, big fanfare on the front. We're going to come to offloading and tooling in a minute, but let's have a look. There's our learning objective summary. We're focusing our learning on just 5 learning objectives, so please circle those 5. That's what we're focusing on. Okay, my job is not to confuse you by giving you too much. My job is to help you focus and go deeper on fewer issues. That's my plan. Okay, are you ready? Phase 1. Are you ready for phase 1? 準備好了? In Chinese, are you ready? Are you ready? Okay, phase 1. Now, you know this is, Pushpa may have taught you this, relevant costs, am I right? So you should know relevant costs. So, basically, relevant costs, what we're talking about here is what's that word say? Oh, good. I'm glad you can understand my English. Okay? Short run. In the short run, all we care about, we can make, what's relevant is direct material, direct labour, direct variable overhead, and we don't care about fixed overhead. Can we do that? Sure you can, in the short run. And you know, so let's have a look. There's this company that makes videotape production of, it's a videotape production plant. The variable manufacturing overhead varies with the number of units produced. Okay, there is a fixed overhead of $1 per tape based on budgeted overhead. Okay, so you know what budgeted overhead means. $150,000 a month, and budget production of 150,000 tapes per month. Each video sells for $5. So in the short run, someone has come to the company to buy 1,000 tapes at $4 per tape, and it's different from Dill's normal marketing channels. The president refused the order because the selling price was below the total budgeted manufacturing costs. So this is basically an example out of your first semester management accounting, am I right? Okay, so I just want to remind you what you learned last year, okay? Because many students forget this after the exam. Okay, so the real relevant revenues, so the president said, no way, we're not going to do this, all right? But really, the total relevant costs are direct materials, direct manufacturing labour, variable overhead. Now remember, variable selling costs is 5% of revenues. This is not 5% per unit, it's 5% of revenue. The revenue is 4,000, so 5% is 200. So essentially for 1,000, our unit cost for the order is $3.40. And so if we're going to pay you $4, then you're going to make money on this short run order. So this is a short run decision. When you learn relevant costs, we really focus on the short run. Today, we're looking at the long run, not the short run. Long run. Okay, not the short run, all right? So really, you need to change channel. This is not just exercises that are a little bit more difficult than your first year management accounting, your first introduction course. Okay, we're looking at the long run, not the short run. So it takes a different mindset. Once we start looking at the long run, and then you can look at that solution and see the challenges, and you know that this happened. The issues are impact on existing customer base. Now in the short run, it's not going to matter, but in the long run, yes, it's going to matter. Especially if word gets around that there you went and sold 1,000 videotapes for $4 each. Or another issue is maybe it's once off or it's a new channel. Maybe it's online to offline. So therefore you can actually separate that and keep it separated in the long run. So this is the two issues that you probably need to think about. Okay, so that was part of what Pushpa took you through last semester in management accounting. That you did the calculation, you worked out what was variable, what was fixed, and the relevant costs were costs that were only going to change in the future. They were costs that varied with volume. Okay, but not only that, you were taught not only to understand the quantitative calculation, but you're also taught to understand qualitative issues, right? All right? So you just can't go out and sell something very cheap than what you're selling in other channels. Other customers may complain. It may damage your reputation. You may have to cut the price of your other channels. There's all these non-calculative, non-quantitative issues that you've learnt in first management accounting. All right. Now we come to my great area, and please forgive me for the week 2 and week 3, because I normally teach this in week 2 and week 3 of first semester management accounting. But this is really what we're going to be covering. You can put down week 8 here, okay? And we're not covering part of this at all. Are you with me here? So we're covering all of that part here. But I just want you to see that activity-based costing, which you've already covered, comes in here, because activity-based costing is about helping you to improve decisions. Am I right? It's about helping you to make better decisions. Am I right? So you already know that. You know you're already at the green. That is already baked in to your knowledge, because I went and saw Pushpa. Pushpa was your lecturer, is that right? Who was your lecturer? Mason? Anissa. Oh, I spoke to her too. And she told me that you know all about this green area because she had that in, there was an example in this in the exam, is that right? And then you're still here, that means you must have passed the exam. So logically I'm thinking, oh, you already know that. Okay? Class, if you don't, please go back and just understand that this is what we mean by total cost management, focusing on costs in the organisation to do better in the long run. What you learned in your last course is this green area here. Now, what are we learning today and Thursday? The following, we're going to take you through what value engineering is about. We're going to take you through what process value analysis is about, and product design, which is basically part of design analysis and functional analysis. Now, how did I put this together? Because I kept on reading the 4 chapters in Horngren, chapter 5 and chapter 19, and then there was 2 other chapters all the time. I realised Horngren doesn't put it together, so I thought I need to put it together so it fits in one nice framework, and this is the framework we came up with. What you'll find at target costing that we're going to cover today is actually this area here, all right? So I just want to show you the roadmap for what we're doing, okay? You with me here? Roadmap is very important. You want to know where you're going.